Welcome back to this week's YouTube Live and the podcast. My name is RD. Welcome back to the Waterfowl Den. Man, I hope y'all having a good week. Um, for the most part, waterfowl season is done for South Carolina. It's got a couple more days, but for the most part, man, the season's out. I know it is for me. Um, I think you got the Friday, which is 2 more days. And then you got veterans hunt and then youth federal day. So I'll get to go one more time unless it's raining. Plan to take my son for youth day. So we shall see how that is. So how did y'all's seasons do? Um, early till season, early first split, amazing. Second split, man, we struggled. So hopefully y'all doing better than what we done. I've been watching people comment and asking where ducks are, and it trips me out when somebody posts to South Carolina because it's hilarious. I love reading the comments what people say, but hopefully a couple more people drop in. It's just getting started. I got my chair out, got a special guest that's going to drop in about, I don't know, about 10 minutes. That person's going to drop in and then drop out. So hopefully y'all having a good week. We are in the middle of the week. By the time you get done listening to this and go to bed, we are that much closer to Friday. So that it's been one of them weeks. I am so ready for Friday. But we're almost in February. Turkey season's coming around. I talked about turkey season last week on the YouTube live. There's definitely some stuff that getting changed in South Carolina for turkey hunters. So if you are a turkey hunter, you definitely better be reading the rules and regulations because that's definitely changing. Typically, we have different zones. Hey, Jeff. Hopefully, you're having a good week out there. Typically, we have zones, and the coastal area comes in, and then the Midlands, and then us, and then upper state. But this year, uh, it's going to be private lands, April the 3rd to May 3rd. Everything's coming in at one time. We got one, man, I don't even know how many. Turn my phone off. I heard it notifications. I don't even know how many acres this game management is, but it's massive. Um, Typically, because one county is in the WMA is in two counties, and one county is one in one zone, the other county is in another zone, and they don't open this game management up until the second zone comes in. But this year, with every zone coming in at one time, that's going to be very interesting. I mean, typically, like I said, the lower coastal zones, they usually have better hunting early than we do. Um, like I said, I don't know how that's gonna work out. Let me share my screen here. There we go. So this is what I'm looking at. April the 3rd, May 3rd. Um, it does say some game managements do have some restrictions on dates, but you can see here. I'll make it a little bit bigger. Um, you can see here where last year's it showed you the two separate zones, and that was in 2024. Um, the number of birds you get this year, you're only going to get two. Um, they also, I believe, changed the fee for the tags. I think the tags went up maybe $5. I mean, it ain't like, oh my god, I can't believe they went up on. is literally like $5 or something like that. It's very little bit of money. And they changed it where you can't shoot a Jake. So I want to pull that back up and we can go over it because that is literally the next what's coming up. So we have just a little bit of waterfowl season left, a little bit of goose season left, but it's not much left. I'm ready for turkey season. I'm ready to huff and puff up them hills. Every year I keep saying I'm going to lose weight before turkey season. Never happens. Oh, somebody's getting closer. I hear a guest coming. The person had their hands full. Waiting on it to load. Let's see, what page is turkeys on? Turkey tags 117. So it's got to be around there somewhere. You can come sit. I go back to full screen. We'll quit talking about turkeys for a second. Hey, we got a guest back in the studio. How are you?
I'm ready for the weekend.
You might have to get a little bit closer to the mic.
I'm prepared for my camo pants, though.
Oh, well, nobody can see you in your camo pants.
That's okay.
Because you know why?
You can see them.
They're camoed.
Blend in.
You blend into the environment. I know. Sorry. Don't knock the boat off. I mean,
it's been a rough day.
It's barely got Flex Seal holding it together. I mean, but you can't see in this view. Maybe the other view. We'll see if it goes back to the other view. You might can see it. All right, so right here, and right here is where the back bench was, and it's got all the holes in it. So there was a back bench here, so I had to drill all that out because then it wouldn't work with a bench in the boat.
No, that it wouldn't.
Now it would have been nice if I would have actually deburred it, but
makes it more rustic.
I guess these corner pieces right here will take a chunk out of you pretty quick. I mean, it actually looks like
that's pretty sharp right there.
It is pretty sharp. This is a manly.
See that
waterfowl den.
It's not for pansies.
No. So waterfowl season's over, and I wanted to get it on record. I want to thank my chief financial officer, my wife, for supporting the waterfowl season, and I don't even want her to calculate how much was spent for this waterfowl season.
You can't take it with you when you die.
Jay said, "What's up, Sushi King?" Man, we'll talk about that in a minute.
About time for a Mr. Tokyo trip.
Man, he don't know nothing about Mr. Tokyo.
Tokyo's the best.
He's in Georgia. Hey, Jay, you ever get up here? Well, I mean, that would even be even further. That's even Charlotte. But there's a Japanese all-you-can-eat buffet, and you will literally hurt yourself. It is bigger than where
we gotta go starving.
Yes, you gotta miss lunch because you're gonna go out miserable. But yeah. So now I am into postpartum waterfowl depression. It is a true thing.
I understand that. I feel that way with gardening season.
Yeah, but gardening season's about to start for you.
It is, but you'll have to do the tractor stuff.
But I was fixing to say it then starts for me.
It does.
But this year we're going to try something different in the garden. Definitely going to be some videos. This year we are going to put plastic.
Well, it's more plastic? Like woven.
Like a fiber. We're almost going to make it like a real garden. I mean, not like a real garden, but like what's the people that actually sell the place? What are them called?
Like a nursery.
Nursery, yes. So obviously my tractor set up, it makes the rows. But this year we're going to actually make the rows and then cover it to try to keep the grass more out of it. And we got the panels so that the tomatoes will
we can
grow up. So
steady.
It's either going to be a success, uh, a work in progress, but we're not going for failure.
Oh no, we're ready.
We're ready.
I got to order the fabric,
You
but
mean
that's okay.
You mean I'm ready? Or are you ready?
I'm ready. I got to do all the other stuff.
Oh my
Start
god!
the seeds and keep them alive and plant them.
There is a video from last year of the garden, and you can see her seeding, putting the seeds in for the beans. It was pretty cool because I made a video of the rows on the tractor, and then I told her to set up the camera to make the video for the seeds, and I caught that on video, so it's pretty impressive. But this year's garden, I feel, is going to be better.
It is.
If nothing else, we're going to have grass in the garden.
Last year we got started late because of Iowa.
Well, that is true. I was.
And then it rained.
Yeah. So last year we got started a little bit later because I went to graduate from my master's program, and that was almost today. It has been a year since I got my master's, and then we went and I walked for my graduation, and that did put us behind on our garden. Jeff says you can't plant until Mother's Day.
With here it's about end of April.
Yeah, end of April. They always say that when it's too wet to plow, and we shall see. But Jeff said he's seen the video.
Won't get to use that this year though.
No, we'll not be able to get to use that because
go old school.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go old school planting it. Which our garden is probably, I think it's 40 yards, 40, 50 yards, probably by 20 yards. I mean, it's a pretty decent garden. She plants over 100 tomato plants. Not making it up.
You gotta have all the different varieties.
That's what we need. Yes, we need to document this year. You see, starting the seeds of the tomatoes and the species of all the tomatoes.
February 15th.
February 15th. So I'm reminding you to remind me to remind you to record it. Because there's tomatoes that I've never heard of that you plant.
Because those are the best ones.
Yeah, but I don't know if anybody else would know them. Hey, Jay, what are them tomatoes that you plant? You remember any other names?
Yeah, like the little cherry tomatoes or the sun golds. Lord, you got Cherokee purples. Oh, just all kinds.
She gets some that doesn't have any seeds, and that's what you use for.
Well, they still got
your
some
sauce.
seeds. I use like their Hungarian hearts. Them jokers get about that big.
So we need to document that this year. So that's going to be on the books. We're gonna spend a little bit more time in the garden. So hopefully there's no grass in the garden.
That's what I hope because I can't do it. I can't do it.
Because last year we got grass in the garden. It was mostly on the end, and then it was just
everywhere.
It was a free fall after that. I mean, the deer didn't even get in there to eat beans.
There wasn't nothing to eat, just but grass.
But that's how it goes. But I was just telling them before you came in that it's turkey season time almost. So February, the end of March, for me starts turkey season. So I got 1 month to prepare. Got a little bit of goose and the middle of February to go, but it won't be out of town. So
get to sleep a little bit more.
Jeff says the grape tomatoes are better than cherry tomatoes. You got any great ones?
I just like those sun golds, but they're little. They're little.
When I'm not joking. You had over 100 tomato plants. Yeah. I think that first 2 years ago you had like what 130 tomato plants.
Yeah.
And then last year I know we planted close to 100. Do you know how hard it is to dig 100? And that wasn't what she was putting the seeds down. I was digging holes at like lunchtime. Whew.
It was a rough year.
It was a lot. We're gonna have a good garden.
Oh yeah.
I think normally we have like 7 rows. I think this year we're gonna cut it back to to 6. That way, it leaves a little bit of room to get around. But we shall see. After turkey season, though.
Oh yeah.
I got
I
it.
don't need you till the frost season is almost over.
Oh, she said she didn't need me. Y'all got that on video that she didn't need me. So does that mean I can go and visit Jeff out there for snow goose season?
When it's snow goose season.
Like what, Jeff? Like a couple weeks?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I can go with Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff, you got a place to stay, bro? Do you know where Jeff is? I didn't say Jay in Georgia. This was Jeff. You heard it, Jeff. I got permission to come snow goose hunt with you. He's out.
You just gotta make up the favor.
I will plant 2 gardens if I could go shoot snow geese with
Work.
Jeff.
I can't support 2 gardens.
Jeff, what would be a good? She said I got to make it up. So what could I make up to come out there to hunt snows with you? There's like a 30-second, 40-second delay, so he's probably just hearing it now. It's probably just typing. My thing is, it's probably you're too far away from the mic and didn't even. Oh, he heard it. He said, "LOL." I did hear that. He's in Nebraska.
We were kind of.
We wasn't nowhere near Nebraska. We went to Iowa.
That's closer than here.
Well, I mean, that's technically true. I mean, when I went to Oklahoma, it was closer than here. Jeff, what time can I be out there for snow goose?
Good looking that cold. Just saying.
Jay said build her a greenhouse.
I got one.
She's got one. And it's got heat. Automatic heat. When it drops down to a certain temperature, the heat comes on. And in the summertime, the fan comes on and it exhausts out.
That thing's vintage too.
Sometimes
that thing survived Hurricane Hugo.
Yeah, it was before Hugo. Sometimes she goes out there to the greenhouse just to stand in the warmth.
I do. When it's sunny, that thing gets.
It does.
Nice
it does. Spring wise, it will warm up pretty nice. But I would like to get one more greenhouse a little bit closer to the house. Kind of more like
the plastic hoop house.
Yeah. The one she currently got is a greenhouse. Like it has that green fiberglass. It looks like aluminum,
like little panels.
Yeah, they're panels, but I mean it's a greenhouse. I would like to get one that was clear, so that you could start the seeds in the bed.
Well, and not need the lights.
Yeah,
because it's got to have the lights.
Yeah, when she starts her seeds, the seeds have lights, and then you have like heating beds that go up under the pans. So if you ride by our street in the middle of spring, all the lights in the greenhouse will be on, the heat will be on, and it may look like other activities in the greenhouse.
I'm really surprised we haven't had some of the locals come and try to.
I am highly surprised. Also, they are highly disappointed when they walk in, if they walked in and looked at a tomato.
Yeah, I'm like, man, that's not what I thought was growing.
Jay said you can't hide money. Jay, she hides all of my money.
That was that government COVID money that bought that.
Well, that is true.
And I got the family deal.
It was her uncle's greenhouse. We did have to buy it, and then we had to transport it, which I got a guy I know's got a rollback, and he went and got it and brought it over. But I think it's a pretty decent greenhouse. Y'all probably seen it a dozen times in the videos. So nothing spectacular about that, but I got the notification too. Our daughter just left dance, so her chariot is going to have to go pick her up very shortly. But just want to say thank you for all the dollars and stopping at gas stations to get food, gas money. That's why I tell people every time I go to the coast to hunt is like $60 every time. And there was a couple times we were going Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah.
So I mean, it adds up. Duck hunting is not a cheap sport, especially when you live in a state that doesn't have that great of hunting, duck hunting, honey holes. But we had a pretty good year. I scratched off a good many new species on the list this year. Bunch of new people to hunt with. So
Well, it's not just happy wife, happy life.
it is always happy
No,
wife, happy
It's
life.
happy spouse, because then when you're happy, works out. You gotta help each other's hobbies, and
That's not how that works. That's not how any of this
it
works.
is. It is.
All right, fellas, is that how that works? You'll be gone by the time they hear that and comment.
No,
They'll
you
probably
help
won't
me
even.
with my garden, so I don't mind you going. I don't mind you going hunting.
Jeff says her money, you have none. Agree, Jeff. 100%.
But the bills get paid.
They do get paid. We got 9 more years on this house. 9 more years, and it's going to be ours that we have to pay taxes on, or they'll take it.
Maybe that'll change.
Does that make any sense? This house is mine in 9 years, but I got to keep paying taxes, or they'll take it from me. We ain't talking about government tonight.
It'll get me fired up.
Oh, we're going. Oh, you can't get fired up in this little John boat.
No.
The John boat will get tipsy, and you almost got it tipsy a few minutes ago coming in. I mean, we have been in this boat for like 5-6 months, and we have yet to have a catastrophic accident of the boat.
Yet.
Wait, no, wait a minute. I remember the last time you were in here, you broke the screen. The screen didn't work. Didn't the internet? There was like 4 things that happened that night that you come on.
Going.
I think I was late coming on because
you were.
There was something else. I can't remember. Jeff said they paid their house off. No better feeling. I wouldn't know, Jeff. Got 9 more years. 9 more.
Maybe sooner.
Unless y'all want to set up a GoFundMe page. I'd rather have a GoFundMe page to go hunt snow geese. Whatever GoFundMe page for snow geese hunting, I would take half and go towards the house. How about that? We're going to start a GoFundMe page. Just said, nah, I jinxed the boat. Yeah, I know. She about knocked it over.
Try not to capsize it when I leave.
They're going to be, when she stands up to leave, it's going to look like the Titanic. That thing going to go down. Bloop. The foam padding ain't in here for sound. It's for protection so that when she gets up, she ain't going to knock me out. It's going to be a concussion on live TV.
That wouldn't be good.
Hey, they won't know because it's a 20-second delay. I'll be knocked out and came back conscious by the time they be like, realize what happened. Wow. What can I do? But you want to go get her?
Yeah.
All right. Well, y'all tell her bye. By the time they tell you bye, you're already going to be gone. But
it was fun.
It was fun.
Thank you for having me again.
I appreciate you coming in. Thank you for dropping by the Waterfowl Den.
I will get up gently.
Gently. We're going to come and go gently.
I didn't touch it.
Don't jerk the cord out of the internet as you walk by.
That's a whole other obstacle
Hey, Kelly said, there goes my best friend.
Say, hey, Kelly.
She said, hey, Kelly. But, oh, mercy. What can you do? Y'all heard her. I have 100% permission to go to see Jeff and maybe hunt some geese out there in Nebraska. Hey, Kel, since Julia officially gave me permission to go hunt snow geese with Jeff, Can my buddy old pal also tag along with me? We need to go ahead and get both of his permission. We'll see what her comment is. But let me find this license where I was talking about turkey season. Let's see, where was that at? Oh, that's way down there at the bottom. That 117 wasn't the right page. No joke, Jeff. One day, snow geese. It won't be this year though. But I am glad that I got permission to go hunt some snow geese. You know, that's what some people don't. Some people don't appreciate that. My wife is 100% behind me on hunting. I'm not sure she's 100% for me hunting or 100% to get me out of the house. I don't know. I'm going to take it however I can get it. Somewhere is turkey season on this page because I looked at it this week. Kelly hasn't commented yet. My buddy may not got permission to go. We'll see. What y'all been up to this week? So I do remember. Oh yeah, Jeff. In fairness, I have asked for prayers for my buddy. He is going through some treatments, and he wouldn't be able to go for this snow goose anyway. So, in your prayers, definitely lift him up in his treatment process. I haven't made the video yet of our trip up to Oklahoma, goose, duck, pheasant, and then to Reelfoot Lake because honestly, I haven't had time yet due to hunting. And let me tell you, there was a lot of content going and hunting and shot cams and GoPros, and the data that came off of that trip was unreal. Like, it was crazy. So I haven't had time to even put that trip video wise together yet. But it is coming. So what Jay brought up earlier, when he came in, he was like, "What's up, Sushi King?" For 2 years now, I'm not sure if it's been a full 2 years plus this year or just 2 years, but me and Jay always been saying, "Hey, we got to get up to hunt together. We got to get up to hunt together." Obviously, I'm in South Carolina. Jay's in Georgia. You can't go across the border without buying a license. And so last year, I told him, I said, "Dang it, we were going hunting this year, which was this season." Hey man, how you? Welcome to the waterfowl den. So, this year I told him, I said, "We're going hunting together," and it happened. Literally last Saturday. It was going to be a pretty good temperature wise. We found a good spot that possibly had some birds. And one thing that I really liked about Georgia, they have a 1-day hunting license. North Carolina has a 5 or 10-day. Reelfoot Lake has 3 days, and then you have to buy a day if you go for 4 days. But Georgia had 1 day. It cost me $20 for 1 day, and then a 1 year for the state, what they call, basically the duck tax, what everybody calls the HIP, the HIP. Basically, that's like the state duck tax. Cost me $25 to go hunt in Georgia. He has a nice boat. At that time, I only seen pictures of it, but he had a boat, and we were going to plan to put some decoys out. I told him, I said, "Hey, I bring my kayak, which is like it's technically a hybrid. I said we'll throw all the decoys in it, which is basically a canoe but a flat bottom like a kayak. It's a Sin H10. I love it. Uh, I said we can throw all the decoys and stuff in it. We'll put a rope behind the boat. That way we don't overload the boat, and we can just pull all the decoys in the kayak. And that's what we did. We threw them all in the back, and we took off. Man, we threw out three and a half dozen decoys, and then we had a dozen silhouettes of geese. We getting out there setting up, hear geese like crazy, and I'm like, oh man, we are going to smash some geese. Sun comes up. I'm talking about pretty. The decoys look pretty, and right at shooting time, you see a bass boat go by. Not uncommon to be on a lake in a bass boat. Then another bass boat. And then about 5 more bass boats. 6 more bass boats. And I'm talking about, when I say bass boats, I'm talking about real legit bass boats. And I'm talking about shooting 20-foot rooster tails. Big motors. So when you see a boat that's moving 60, 70, 80 miles per hour and it's throwing a heck of a rooster tail, that ain't your mom and pawpaw down there going out bass fishing. Like, something's got to be going on. Like, well, one thing about it, if they're all moving around, they're going to be moving some ducks around for us. They're going to be bumping them. Well, that didn't happen either. And then next thing you know, there's bass fishermen everywhere. They're dropping their trolling motors in the water. I mean, they're pretty close. What we come to find out, Bassmasters was in Georgia this weekend. So if you know anything about bass fishing, they come a couple days before and fish. So did they bump all the birds? Did the weather change? I don't know. Honestly, we've been struggling for ducks the past couple weeks, and technically it just being over the line at Georgia. I mean, I can almost see South Carolina from where we were in Georgia. Who knows? Who knows where the birds are? Um, but we left there, and like I always say, I judge a hunt by what we eat for lunch. And we were looking at Google Maps. I was like, man, it sure would be nice to have some Chinese buffet. And I said, I'll follow y'all into town because, I had no clue where the heck I was at. His son called somebody and said, which one's got the best Chinese? And we stopped at this all-you-can-eat sushi buffet bar. Whew, boy, I hurt myself. I mean, they had everything. I say every time I'm not going to hurt myself eating sushi. And I literally hurt myself every time eating sushi. They had everything. They had the regular Chinese. They had some Japanese. They had hibachi. They had somebody over there cooking whatever you wanted. They had sushi rolls everywhere. And when we walked in, now the parking lot was pretty full. We walked in, and right when you come in, you see the little sign, and usually somebody says, how many are you? And they had a sign that said buffet, $13. And I'm like, there ain't no way we're gonna eat all you can eat sushi for $13. That didn't, honestly, one or two things went in my head. It's either gonna be really nasty, or I'm going to be throwing all this up because I'm going to get food poisoning this afternoon. Sat down, ate. It was really good. I'm like, well, I hope I don't get food poisoning. And by the time we would have been pulling in the parking lot maybe 5 minutes before 12 o'clock. When we sit down after going to the bar and got everything, all our food, we sit down, and the influx of people coming in was unreal. Like, it was line after line of people. And the crazy part was, so many Chinese people were coming in. I mean, they were military, and I'm like, well, these people must know something also, that because this place went from uh, a good many people to like there is absolutely zero tables left, and I'm telling you, it was a pretty big building. So that kind of made me feel like at least I'm not going to get food poisoning. But it was really good, and with my drink, I think it was like $15, something like that. All you can eat. I mean, you couldn't beat that with a stick. If it was on fire, that's how. That's how. I mean, it was legit good. But I may have went back 3 times. I'm not going to say that I did, because I try not to keep count. But just said when you come up next year, we'll go 3 hours north, hunt some South Dakota guys around Yanking, and way better than my area. Man, anything's way better in my area because we got like two snows in the whole state. But that was on a Friday. I said Saturday. Sorry, that was a Friday that I went down to Georgia. Um, Left there, went to this nice gun store. Um, they had all the $10,000 and up, over and unders. Um, $10,000. I honestly don't think a $10,000 shotgun would help me shoot any better. I mean, I personally have never shot a $10,000 shotgun, but I don't know. I don't know what a $10,000 over and under feels like. So if y'all ever shot a $10,000 shotgun, let me know, because that would be very interesting. I do know the two bottom end of Browning over and under. We're gonna say what, $2,500. Once you start getting into the $5,000 range of over and unders in the skeet competitive world, I do know a lot of them parts are replaceable, like receivers, barrels, all the parts. Where some of the parts for the cheaper over and unders, once they wear out, they're done. Um, but my gosh, I honestly don't know what a $10,000 shotgun. I can't even say I know what it feels like, because I'm too afraid to pick it up, because um, I ain't wanting to break it. No. So if y'all ever get a $10,000 shotgun, let me borrow it and make some videos, and I'll tell everybody what a $10,000 shotgun feels like. So I think I found the page that the turkeys are on here. Yeah, Jeff, that's where I'm at. I'm with the Brownings. They mid range for sure. Um, Man, the whole time I've been looking at this catalog, and I pulled up to 24. What a goofball! I had one job to find the 25, and I picked up 24. I guess I got talking to y'all earlier about 24 season. So now that I have the 2025 catalog, maybe it'll be right. Jeff, you ever shot a $10,000 shotgun? You can't eat sushi. Now, when I say I eat sushi, I am not talking about that raw stuff. Um, I love the California rolls. The Love anything that's got the avocados in it. Oh my gosh, I love some avocado. And then pretty much anything's got shrimp in it. Occasionally, I get something with tuna. It's probably fake tuna, but that fried shrimp tempura sushi rolls. That's pretty much that's about all I get. And when I say I get that, yes, sir, probably about 4 or 5 of them rolls. And I ain't talking about like 4 or 5 little pieces. I'm talking about like 4 or 5 whole rolls. Yeah, out of your league. Yeah, out of my league too. I mm, maybe one day. No, probably not. I probably wouldn't even. There's no way I would spend $10,000 on a shotgun. Let's see here. I am still trying to find the 2025 regulations. Bingo! I finally found it. So private lands for South Carolina is April the 3rd through May the 3rd, which I said, and WMA's is the exact same time. So new for this year for South Carolina. So if you shoot as it, yeah. Hey, I got a TriStar. So I got a chance. There was some guy, and I don't even remember. It might have been South Dakota. It was somewhere. I can't even remember where he was at. He has some molar chokes, and he posted them online. And when I say he had molar chokes, he had some molar chokes, but they were all the same. Like he had like 10 chokes of skeet. I'm like, who has that much? So I sent him a message and I said, how did you get this? He was like, well, when he was moving ranges, I was helping clean up and I got all these choke tubes. And I said, well, I need some for a mobile choke system from my TriStar, which is basically the same thing as a Stoger uses. And he had two. So I bought these molar skeet chokes. And when I say my ink pen probably weighs as much as them molar chokes, that's how much they weigh. And it's sad that in that TriStar that the molar chokes are worth more than the shotgun's worth. And the length of pull of that TriStar feels like it is like 12 inches, but I know the length of pull is closely to like 14 something, and I had to add all kind of spacers to the end to get the length of pull for me. But yeah, it's crazy that the molar chokes are worth more than the shotgun. But hey, so new for 2025, it says new, unlawful to harvest a jake defined as a male turkey with a beard less than 6 inches and tail feathers that are not fully developed, with the central tail feathers being longer than the rest. And then it says new also in South Carolina, private land statewide is unlawful to stalk a turkey while behind a decoy or a tail fan. Tail fans include those made of real feathers or synthetic, commonly referring to as fanning or reaping. Now I know in the turkey world that's almost fanning and reaping. What people talk about in the turkey world is almost the exact same thing as water swatting in the duck community. A lot of people don't like water swatting. It's still duck hunting. There's a lot of people that don't like turkey reaping. It's still turkey hunting. I mean, they both got both sides. So, me personally, I probably would like to try it one time, but it's never going to happen for two reasons. One, we don't have enough turkeys. I mean, they are already smart enough around here that the coyotes, they're not going to let you get that close. And two, to do the reaping is when you take the fan, basically the fan, the back part of a turkey, and you put it in front of you and you walk towards the tom while you're on your knees going across a pasture to get to the turkey. Bad as my knees are, I wouldn't get 20 yards and be hollering. I'd have to put knee pads on. Like, my knees are shot. There ain't no way. Mid 40s. Them turkey would hurt me. That joker would hear my knees crackling across that. There ain't no way I could army crawl. It just wouldn't happen. So fanning and reaping is 100% out of my ream. But there are plenty of videos that are pretty cool that people get all the way up to them, almost like towards the screen, behind them. I mean, I honestly don't understand how the turkeys don't see them. I mean, all it is a fan. You can see the person, you can see the gun. I mean, it ain't like they're hiding behind it well. I mean, a turkey's fanned out. It's only like here. I mean, big as broad shoulder and wide as my hips are. You gonna see it. But them jokers get right up to them and then grab them by the ankles. I mean, that's how close they get. I almost make you feel like them are trained turkeys, but they're not. The males just get that much frustrated with another tom out in the field. But absolutely, Jeff, that's exactly how I feel. If I can get a duck to come in my decoys and land on the water, 100% they get in water swatted because my decoys did their job. Here lately, uh, I feel like my decoys are doing so good of a job that the ducks can't even see them because I mean that's how realistic my camo is. There ain't nobody can see nothing. Um, Even if you can afford it, I don't think I would buy it. No, I don't think so neither, Jeff. Um, Jumping back to hunting with Jay, that was on a Friday. We went back to the coast on Saturday, and there was a good many birds on the coast. Very weary, very very weary. But I mean, them jokers been done and got shot at for how many months coming through Canada, but they were very weary. They didn't really want to decoy. We had some teal that almost came into the decoys, but we had one guy out on the kayak going to retrieve a bird and hunting down there in tidal water. When the bird hits the water, you better go get it because it's going to be down yonder by the time you get to it. And then you got to kayak back up or downstream against the current. So that's the only downside to tidal water is currents. Um, you can see them. I mean, the decoys will be going this way. They'll start slowing down, and then you see the decoys shifting, turning, and now the decoys are going back the other way. So tidal water is definitely something else. But if you, I don't know how many of y'all watch my YouTube shorts. Most of them are kind of stupid anyway. I mean, they're just funny, kind of if you know anything about YouTube shorts, they're really short. Where the name came from is mostly just to keep doing this on your phone. But yesterday's short, you will see my buddy. Uh, he went to retrieve that duck, came back. He gets out of the kayak and he goes completely underwater. Trips, falls. That kayak actually had a trolling motor on it that is registered because in South Carolina you have to have stickers and pay taxes on a kayak if it has a electric trolling motor on it. But it was folded down and he tripped getting off of it and he planted in the water. But luckily he did get wet, but luckily it wasn't as cold as previous weeks and he took the first layer of wet clothes off. But it is a reminder, especially duck hunting, how quick things can go south. Duck hunting, very. I mean, we all get complacent. I ain't even gonna lie. A lot of times I get complacent. A lot of times, you do stupid stuff out there like not wearing a life jacket, um, stuff like that. We get complacent, and that's how accidents happen. But thank goodness, that's what I told him. Thank goodness when you fell out, you were actually like near land that you could stand up and then get back in your kayak. Like what happened if you were out in the big water? That would have been really hard to get back in. But yeah, it's crazy. Um, just as I watched your video on the Kel-Tec P32. Now they look like a perfect carry gun. Jeff, that Kel-Tec makes a really good pistol. Um, the P32 is a 32. They make a single single stack 9mm. They don't make that version anymore. It was a single stack 9mm. Um, Really great gun. You probably could still find it on Gunbroker. They make a double stack 9mm. The only thing about the 9mm that I did not like, great carry gun. The warranty, we'll talk about the warranty in a minute. Everything about it, amazing. But the way the back of the 9 was, when you would pull the trigger, it's pretty much like a square gun. It's kind of like a high point. I'm not really wanting to compare a Kel-Tec to a high point because I don't think anything should be compared to a high point. But a high point is like a Buick, but not even a Buick. What would be a Crown Vic? That's what a high point is. Everything's square. A Crown Vic will get you to point A and point V. It'll do the job efficiently, but it's very square, very heavy. And that's how that Kel-Tec is. At the back of a Kel-Tec is very square, not very good rounded. And every time I shot it, it would dig into my I guess that'd be the crow of the hand. It was very uncomfortable to shoot, like just target shooting. There's a difference in carrying and needing it versus, hey, I'm just going to go out there and shoot 200 rounds. But with his P32, it doesn't have that. Granted, it doesn't have the kick like 9mm. But I went to a pawn shop and this guy had two of them Kel-Tecs. And I don't even remember what they were. I think he wanted like 220. I honestly don't remember. I think he wanted 220 each. Whatever it was, I said, hey, I'll do 180 for both of them. And he was like, sounds like a deal. One of them had the pocket clip that they make that go on the side. So I bought both of them. I came home. I gave one to my wife. Now, my wife can shoot. My wife probably pistol-wise at a target 100% can outshoot me. She's been in a couple of videos of shooting the shotgun, shooting skeet. I don't know how she could do shooting skeet. That might be a video this year. I might get her out on the skeet range, maybe take her one day with a 20 gauge or my new gun that I ain't ordered yet. We'll talk about it later. But she ain't here. So she can't outshoot me pistol wise. In theory, typically, most of the time, women can outshoot a man in a pistol anyway because they have better eye coordination. And maybe could be that she's a little bit younger. But hey, it is what it is. So I gave her one and we went out just to shoot. Hers, pow, 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 pow. Mine went pow, pow a couple times and then jam, pow, pow, pow. And I'm like, well, maybe it's the shells or it could be the spring in the clip. Swapped them. Didn't help it. Cleaned it. Really didn't help it. So I contacted on Kel-Tec. Kel-Tec has a lifetime guarantee. They said, ship us the gun. We'll fix it. So I shipped it down there to them. If you look at the video on the Kel-Tec, it has a guide, which you can see in the front, where the slide is. If you're looking at it in the front, if you're looking at it through the hole of stand here just for a second, you're going to see a bang flash. Right below it is your guide. Each gun calls it a little bit different, but basically that's got the spring on there for the recoil. It guides it straight, keeps that spring from coming up, but it's made out of plastic. And that spring was a little bit warped and the guide was a little bit warped over time. So I knew that. So I sent that down there. Matter of like a week, I get the gun back. Now, I shipped it through a gun dealer and then it came back to the gun dealer. And when I opened it up, I'm like, wow, this ain't my gun. I'm like, this ain't the gun I sent. I looked at the serial number. It was the serial number. And the lady was like, "What do you mean this ain't your gun?" I'm like, "This ain't my gun. This gun's brand new." And then it come with the paper. I open up the paper. They replaced the whole upper. They replaced the pin, the springs. They adjusted the trigger, replaced the springs in the trigger. The only thing that was mine was the plastic part, and I think the magazine, the clip. Everything else, upper and above, was all new, and it even said on there Gen 2 because they probably couldn't have. They probably didn't even have the parts to replace a Gen 1 anymore, so they upgraded everything to a Gen 2. And I basically got a brand new Kel-Tec, and I'm telling you, that son gun shoots like a dream. So if you're looking for a P32, look at used ones because they have a outstanding warranty on their guns. Um, really nice. I really like the P32s. Now, you talk to some people, I wouldn't walk around with a 32 because that's not going to stop. I've been in the fire and EMS world. I've seen what people look like when they take drugs and they get them superpower muscles because their adrenaline's pumping. You see videos out there all the time where 9mm don't even stop people. 45s. There becomes a point like, hey, concealed is 32 or really bulky 45. Would I rather have a 32 than nothing? I mean, there's so many ends of the spectrum. I mean, one thing I like about it, that 32 isn't much thicker than my cell phone. I could take that 32, throw it in my waders, throw it in my bibs right there, and go hunting with it. And if I lost it in a kayak accident, I'm out less than $200. So I highly suggest you look at the P32s. With the wrist being screwed up like it is, accident, light recoil. That's why I'm looking at 32. I agree. Less recoil. Same reason I went from 12 to 20. I had a company that stands behind the product. Yeah, I do too. British police used to carry 32. Yeah, most of them cops carry batons. So, I mean, yeah, 32 over a wooden stick. Yeah, I definitely would take a 32 over a wooden stick. But I really like the P32. And you get the little clip that goes on the side too. I mean, it's a good gun. Now, it don't have the Picatinny rails. Maybe it don't have the laser like the Bodyguard 32s. I don't know. I'm on the fence with the laser part of the trigger part. I mean, you carrying a gun in your pocket constantly. That laser is adjusted by two screws, a up and a down on a screw. I mean, how much beating and banging before it gets off, and now you're relying on a red dot. I mean, let's get real. Most people are probably not going to be able to hit a silhouette of a paper at, I'm looking across the room, let's just say 20 feet. Um, that's why they always say, why didn't the person just shoot him at the kneecap? Do you know how hard it is to shoot a pistol at 20 feet and actually hit a kneecap? I'm not saying people can't do it. I'm not. I mean, there are snipers and everything else, but the average person isn't going to be able to do that. So even with a 32 and then you got a laser on there and then you've been carrying this laser for like years on end, it's kind of hard to beat iron sights. I mean, for the most part, it takes a licking to knock some iron sights off. There is a couple of new guns out that the slide on the top is completely flushed and the sights are sunk in with the like night indie glow. Man, them things are slick. But if I had the money to buy a new pistol, it would be the what is it, 5x7 64, whatever that pistol. That's not even a pistol grade. Whatever the rifle cartridge is that can for the K. What let me find out. It holds like 20 rifle bullets in a pistol format. I think it's 5 by something. I don't think it's 39, but it might be. That's what I would like. Why? I don't know. Yeah, 5x39. Who makes that? For some reason, if I feel like it starts with a T. What is the model of that one? I really would like to have somebody like let me borrow one and just play around with it. F&N. F&N is the one that makes that. What is the model number? I wish I could put this up on the screen, but I know for 100% it would get flagged and took down. It's the 5x7. But what is the specs on that bad boy? Let's pull it up here. It's the FN 5x7. 100%. If I had money just to go waste on something that I probably would never shoot, yes, Jeff, you're right. 5x28. Weighs 21 ounces without the mag. Polymer. Trying to find how many rounds. 20 rounds with that one. I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, they're like rank dink little teeny bullets, but I mean, they're rifle grade bullets. 100%. And did you know? This may be one of them. Did you know? FN, a lot of their barrels, a lot of their guns is made in South Carolina, in Columbia, probably 50 miles, maybe 50 minutes, maybe 36 miles from my house. Palmetto, right near Palmetto State Armory. A lot of Palmetto State Armory barrels is made by FN. So I'm looking at the 5x7x29, and right on the side it says FN Columbia, South Carolina. So FN is part of South Carolina. It would be really cool if you could like go tour the place. Like, I highly doubt that. I don't know that, but it would be pretty cool if you could go see it, like tour the plant. But I'm sure getting in there would be like an act of Congress with a background check. But you seen it at the SHOT Show? You seen it at the SHOT Show, like Las Vegas SHOT Show, the SHOT Show, or you saw it on a video? Because I really, really would like to go to SHOT Show. Like, is this YouTube got big? Which is got big, and I greatly appreciate each one of y'all. Right now, we are at, when I say we, because it is y'all, we are at 16,594. So almost 17,000. And if you know, not too long ago, we were doing the 10,000 giveaway, and I mean, that wasn't even months ago. So, like, maybe 2026 SHOT Show, I could go out there to Las Vegas, and that's my plan. It might not happen in 2026, maybe 2027, but to see SHOT Show, I love watching the videos from SHOT Show video, but I would love to see it in person. Oh yeah, me too. That is my goal. That is my goal. 20 years ago, when I was into lowriders and air ride and big old wheels. In the car show scene, all these national car shows. Um, I went to them. Used to have a show truck, and showing my age a little bit, but back then I was doing photography. Uh, this was right when digital um, cameras came out. I had a website, um, uploading car show pictures, had a bunch of people shooting, helped put together. I shot for Mini Truck Magazine. I was in it. A couple of features. I shot for Gauge Magazine, and man, it was coolest thing ever. Going to Nopi, like just give you passes to come in. The people that I met along the way in the car show scene was awesome. Um, but that was like, ooh, 16, 18 years ago. So that was a long time ago. And now that I'm doing the YouTube, it's almost like, man, I want to start going to these shows again. And Jay just posted that right there. The the Turkey Federation convention is in Nashville. It's February the 14th through the 16th. So Jeff, I looked at that, like debated on even trying to talk the wife into letting me go. Like February the 14th, 16th, she's pretty much going to be busy anyway. So I thought about riding up there on a Friday after work because Nashville is only like 8 hours. I was thinking maybe ride up on a Friday, maybe real early Saturday, get up there, see the convention, hang around, and then leave Sunday and come back. So, hey, if you off that weekend and you want to ride to Nashville, it wouldn't take much of you twisting my arm for us both to ride to Nashville. I'm just putting that out there. You have your wife talk to my wife, and we might go to Nashville. Uh, but yes, the shot show is in Vegas. Is Vegas? Take her with man. Oh yeah, 100%, man. If I ever get to Vegas, I have never been to Vegas. One, I would like to go play some of them penny slots because I y'all seen my channel. It doesn't I hunting. There is no extra money to be wasted on other crazy adventures. So there's no way I would go and gamble. Um, I can't play poker. Absolutely don't even know how to play poker. I can play a mean game of blackjack because obviously I can add up to 21. But I would like to play some slots. I definitely would like to go see the Hoover Dam. But if I ever get out to Vegas and things ain't like stupid price, we're gonna get remarried in the chapel at the see you at the Las Vegas sign. Unless it's just crazy stupid price. And then all we're gonna do is take a photo. But if we ever get there, it's gonna happen. But yes, if I go to Vegas, she's going with me. We're going to see it. We're going to do the Hoover Dam. We're going to do the if you never watched Vegas Vacation, where he's standing there and they go to tour the Hoover Dam, and you got the dam guide, and I'm gonna reenact that skit. That is one of my favorite movies. I love that whole thing. Um, but that Hoover Dam is so, like, I love to watch videos on YouTube. If you ever get bored and you want to go down a rabbit hole of videos on YouTube, look at the Hoover Dam. There is tons of videos of talking about the old tunnels, old shafts. I mean, they have really changed the way that thing is. They talk about, just go down the rabbit hole of the Hoover Dam videos in YouTube. Completely mind blowing. But that is one of my goals. And I said earlier, if things work out, which I can't order it anyway because it just was released at SHOT Show. If you caught the video last week, I talked about it. There is a particular brand and a particular model that was released last week at SHOT Show, and you cannot order them for 60 days. So even if I wanted it now, I can't get it. I'm sure somebody's got it. I'm sure they have test shotguns that they've been shooting all season for multiple seasons before they release a new gun. But hopefully in the next 2 weeks, I will be ordering a new gun for the channel. That's all I'm gonna say. I can't make any promises because I can't order it yet. And got to step out, going to talk to you. Good show, always be safe. All right, Jay. Hey, Jay, I ain't joking now. Talk to your wife. We can ride up to Turkey Federation. If nothing else, we can go eat. But yes, I hope to let y'all know more details once I can order that shotgun. Like I said, it is brand new. It starts with an R. The factory starts with an R. The name of the manufacturer starts with an R. It may rhyme with Rite. Well, that would be the whole name. What would rhyme with Rite? I don't know. So I let it out. But Rite has two new models, an Ace and an Ace R. And if you look at the R, it looks very familiar to a Browning Silver. Minus one's gas and the other one's inertia, but the receiver part looks very much like a Browning Silver. If you never shot a Browning Silver, Browning has 3 receivers. A silver would be what they call maybe their beginner or semi-automatics. You got your silver, which is around the $1,000 price range. I'm thinking 11, 12. Don't quote me, but I think the silvers are around that price range. Then you get your maxes, and then you got your A5s. The maxes 2 and the A5s are pretty close together in price, but a maxes is a typical round receiver, kind of like the Remington 1100s, 1187. Browning had the Maxes, the Gold Hunter, all of them are round receivers, like a typical semi-auto. The Auto 5, the A5 is the high humpback. Me personally, I love the humpback. I love when I throw my hump. I have many A5s. When I throw the hump back up, that hump is right there in your eyes. The only reason I don't hunt out of it is because it's sentimental to me. I don't hunt with my A5. New Wicked Wings A5. The older A5s, them sucking guns kick so bad that I wouldn't even want to be shooting anything out of them. I mean, them things kick like a mule donkey or something, man. Them things, whoo, they rattle your teeth. But you got the round receiver versus the high hump, where a Browning Silver is kind of like a middle hump. And this is what Rite has dropped in one of their new product lines. It has that mid hump. I really want to order this new gun, but I also kind of want to wait till I can actually put it in my hands. Like, which one's going to feel better? Like, I tell people all the time, they see the videos. Well, which gun do you like better? The Beretta A300 or the A5 or the Maxes? Which one shoots softer? Which one feels better? Which one, like, my first comment to every person that asks which one is better is you need to go to the store, pick one up, hold it yourself, because what fits me isn't going to fit you. And like I said before, every single gun that I buy, I have to extend the length of pull to at least 15, 15 and a quarter, sometimes 15 and a half, depending on the gun. Um, just because I'm 6'2", I mean, 6'2", and I got fat cheekbones. I literally had to push the butt stop away. Maybe if I pushed the fork away, I wouldn't have to. Anyway, that's a different story. But every gun I get, I have to make the length of pull longer. So again, I'm 6'2". I got pretty big hands, receiver wise, and foregrip totally feels different to somebody that's shorter and's got smaller hands. So I don't even give suggestions on. I mean, there's plenty of new stuff out there, plenty of new guns. I always say go to the store and which one feels better to you, that's the one. Pretty much these days, if you're going to get a good gun, it's going to be $1,000 and up. I mean, that's just it is what we living in. I mean, the Stogers are now like $800, $900. I mean, so it is what it is. But I really want to get one of these retays in my hand before I place an order, because do I want the rounded receiver or do I want the hump? I don't know. They ain't never had it. So I don't know. A lot of tough decisions. I tried to reach out to retay. So if anybody knows any retay dealers, well, not really dealers, it would be the salespeople. I know they had these guns in their stock because they are the sellers that reach out to the dealers. If anybody is listening or know, tell them to reach out to me or send me some kind of contact information, because I really would like to get some video on this. Like comparing the two. I definitely. She's not in here anymore, but she is definitely not going to let me buy two of them. Sorry. Let's see, that even got me choked up even thinking about it. She's definitely not going to let me buy two of them to find out which one I like better. And like I said, they were just released at the SHOT Show. It would have been awesome to see that in the hand, but it is what it is. So we shall see. Like I said, you can't even order one for 60 days. So like I said, they just came out last week. So 60 days, subtract 5 days. We got another 55 days before you can even order them. And trust me, I called one of my dealers. He said he looked on the computer. He said there is 0 available anywhere. So one day, coming soon. But talking about coming soon videos, this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, I got some new Salt Creek number three. Let's start that all over again. I have some brand new Salt Creek bismuth 3-inch shells. He redesigned his 3-inch shells, and some people are gonna be like, "Well, I didn't know he even had bismuth." He does. Um, Typically, I shoot the 2 3/4 number 4s, and late season, once the birds get weary, they're out there further. The feathers are more thicker, the fat's thicker. I always wanted a little bit more. But he reintroduced the 3-inch, and so far I am in 6 or 7 videos in, and they look amazing. So this weekend, I start out shooting these. So you will see the factory Browning improved cylinder and the factory mod. So definitely check that out. It's something different from Salt Creek. It's going to be the 3-inch number 4 bismuth. Cut one open. That's what I always typically, somewhere in some videos, somewhere on my YouTube page, you will find a particular brand of shells. I will cut that shell open and show you what's inside of it. It might not be in every video, but I have cut open a lot of shells. Um, you can see the quality that Keith puts in his ammo. Like I said, we had Keith on last week. He's a hand loader, saltcreekammo.com. Uh, he takes pride in his stuff. And when you see this bismuth and compare it to other bismuth, when you cut theirs open, bismuth is a soft material. That's why they usually plated, or I really don't want to say the C word in front of it because I don't want to say a brand and they think I'm talking about them. But there are brands out there. When you cut them open, they're not round. They look like lumps. Uh, and this is all the way across the board. Even with steel, like, you need to look at what's inside, because sometimes when something's flying through the air, it looks like a glob of who knows what. But these 3-inch look really, really impressive. But with that being said, the difference between this week's video and the videos that's going to come out next week is the Browning is factory improved cylinder, factory mod, and then next week's videos will be Kicks improved cylinder and Kicks mod. Look totally different, because Kicks high flyer chokes are labeled for steel. So when you're shooting steel, if it's a mod for steel, it's going to be improved cylinder for lead and bismuth. Um, a lot of chokes are labeled that way. My A5 Browning factory chokes, you look at it, it'll say lead such and such, steel such and such. So is it is like mind blowing when you look at the improved cylinder and the mod for Kicks. I mean, it is like, wow. Like, I can't tell you. You just gonna have to watch the video. Is all I got to say. So this weekend, them videos come out, the factory improved cylinder and the factory mod for the Browning. Then I'm gonna move over into 40 yards, and then a couple other guns that I'm going to try swapping them in and out. But yeah, Jeff. Keith makes it good. I mean, he he doesn't like making the bismuth because he doesn't like charging the price for bismuth. He looks at it and says, "Hey, I don't want to charge, let's just say, this amount when other companies also sell it, but theirs is $5-10 cheaper." He's like, nobody's gonna buy mine when somebody else's is $5 and $10 cheaper. But I keep telling him, hey, your stuff is quality. Like, there is no difference. Like, when you look at it, when you cut them open, when you shoot them, you can see the difference. And his TSS is the exact same way. Um, Unbelievable. Like, try his TSS. Try the Toki. Try talking. How about that? Try the Chokey. I just said it again. I'm done. Try the Turkey TSS. Man, when you're live, you can't go out and take the edits out. Like, there is no edits. You have to roll with it. Exactly, Jeff. You get what you pay for. Um, and if you ever get him on the phone, he's really good to talk to also. He's really growing, like he said last week. I don't know if he answers the phone anymore. I keep telling his dad. I keep saying his dad's coming out of retirement to work for him, but we've been in here about an hour and 20 minutes. Um, Hopefully y'all have a good rest of the week. Um, hopefully y'all's some veterans get some pretty good hunts. But before I go, and I know when Jeff leaves, he's gonna say, stay in the marsh. But I did want to say one thing that want to make sure I had the lid on that thing. One thing that I was thinking about Sunday when the preacher was talking, and he brought up a point, and I'm like, well, you know what? That makes perfect sense. to a duck hunter. I appreciate that. And I guarantee you, Jeff, he appreciates it too. I'm not sure if he's still on here. He was having a pretty rough week this week with his treatments. So, but he's halfway through, and I celebrate that with him. And he's halfway through, and I will make sure that he knows you're praying for him. But the preacher was talking about something that I think can relate to duck hunters. You know, when we're out in the marsh, and Jeff always says that, get out in the marsh. I love hunting marsh, minus the smell. But you know, when we're out in the blind, public hunters, you know, this is mostly going to be public game hunters. You know, when you're out there duck hunting, and you've been out there at like 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning because you want to get on the spot, you see somebody's headlamp coming, a boat coming at you. What are you going to do? You're going to do like everybody else. You're going to be like, oh, I know that joker ain't coming to get my spot. And you going like that. Hey, this is my spot. Hey, we do it too. That's not what I'm getting at. So what the preacher was saying was, you know, people try to come talk to you about God, and you're always shoving them away. You know, one day, that day is going to come for sure, and you ain't going to get that moment to shove nobody away. But it got me thinking about duck hunters. You know, when it's dark, we want to see the sun come up. I know if you in South Carolina, oh my gosh, we look for sunrises because that's pretty much all you're going to see. Maybe a couple wood ducks, and then it's time to go eat. But you know, as a hunter, being out there, them sunrises are beyond amazing. Like, it is a God kind of thing. Like, you can't explain it. It comes up every day, but there's going to be a day that sun don't come up. Either you're going to pass along, I'm going to pass along, or Jesus himself is going to come back. One of the two. But got me thinking was the darkness. You know, we're in the dark, as sinners and so on. We want to look for that morning sunrise, and that's what the preacher was talking about. But on the flip side of where I'm really going with this is, if you're out there in the blind or in the marsh by yourself, and you're in the public game management kind of land, and you're sitting out there and you see somebody come up, and it's one person or two person, you be like, hey buddy, I beat you here. He already knows where the spot is. Like, it ain't like it's a top secret. He was going to the exact same spot that you were going to. You just beat him. With that being said, with the darkness, and the same thing with my YouTube channel, do you know how many friendships have been made in the blind? Instead of throwing your flashlight up saying, hey, you go away, you know, maybe next season, I'm not saying every single time, but maybe, hey, you know what? Pull up beside me. Come on over here. Hunt with me. You never know what friendships you might make while hunting. Like, I've never hunted with Jeff. Up till 5-6 days ago, I never hunted with Jay. Never knew any of these people ever existed until this YouTube channel. You never know who you might be saying, hey, you go find some other spot. It could be, I'm 45. It could be a 17, 18-year-old person who is always over there sky blasting, that we always constantly saying, look at them sky blasting, them Duck Dynasty boy. You know, have you ever thought about inviting them over as an old timer and say, hey, this is how you do it. This is how you set the decoys up. Let me show you how to blow. Because you know what? I can't blow a duck call. I can blow a goose call, but a duck call, I can quack. And that is 100% about it. I can do I can do the Drake call, but as a hen mallard, that tugga tugga, three blind mice, I've watched every single video, and trust me, I got the air volume, but the tongue and the top, none of that works. Don't have a clue, can blow a goose call, but it is what it is. This year coming, meet somebody at the boat ramp, start talking. We all share the same interest. Instead of flashing them and saying, you go away, maybe inviting them in. You never know who you might meet while duck hunting. And that went back to pretty much what the preacher was talking about. In the darkness, you're pushing God away, you're pushing Jesus away. You don't know what God and Jesus could do in your life, just like you might not know what the next hunter or the friendship that you can make in the duck blind. What you might benefit from having a buddy who is like, hey, you know what? We hunt the same spots. You want to hunt together? It is definitely safer to have two people than nobody with you. Because trust me, I have been stuck in that puff mud on my belly climbing out. So take that in consideration. Think about it this coming year. While you out there in the darkness, think, hey, am I pushing God away? Am I pushing Jesus away? Am I pushing another duck hunter away? So that's my 2 cents for today. They were free. So I appreciate each one of you greatly. And I'll see y'all next week, next Wednesday at 8 o'clock. So y'all be safe. And here's a word from our sponsors. Matthew Knight with Satura Investors out of Charlotte. There's the information. The link to his website is scrolling across the banner down at the bottom, and it's also in the description. Today's episode is about helping business owners and working professionals like you who share a passion for the outdoors shooting sports, zeroing them in to their long-term financial goals. So if you need any information or contact or any other questions, contact Matthew. Also, go check out Salt Creek Ammo. This triple curl TSS is some of the best TSS I have ever shot. This is for waterfowl edition. It's made full waterfowl. So if you're going to shoot a species that you've been chasing for a long time, don't use no cheap ammo. You pay good money to go on a trip. You got great guns. Don't cheap out on cheap ammunition. This TSS is amazing. It's got number 7s, number 8s, and he has number 9s. So go check out saltcreekammo.com. Here you will find any kind of ammo you're looking for. He has custom loads, TSS in 10 gauge, 12 gauge, 20 gauge, low pressure ammunition. You got predator ammunition, turkey ammunition, anything you're looking for, give Keith a call. Also to the channel, Kicks Industries, most people will know them as Kick Chokes, has came on board, and I have done a bunch of series lately on waterfowl choke tubes, turkey choke tubes, deer choke tubes. So go check out Kick's website for all of the chokes that can fit your guns. Flint Ridge Hauling Service, LLC, has partnered up with the channel. It is your go-to provider for all your hauling needs. They are not just any hauling service. They are an active DOT interstate hotshot hauling provider. Flint Ridge Service, LLC, prides itself in its reliable transportation services. This team ensures that your cargo is delivered safely and on time no matter the distance. Whether you need to transport goods across the county or state line, they have the capacity and the expertise to meet your hauling needs. Equipped with a smooth riding 40-foot air ride equipped trailer and a max hauling capacity of 20,000 pounds, there's no load too big or too small that they can't handle. Look no further than Flint Ridge Hauling Service, LLC.